Yo, Racy Skills Connect back with another video. Like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, all that good jazz, man. Make sure y'all tap in, tune in, keep this content rolling. Shout out Prep Hoops, man. We on that circuit this year with the 16s and 17s. Got some good stuff rolling in for AAU this year. If the sun is in the way, man, my bad. I apologize. But yeah, today is Monday. Start of the week. Hopefully everybody has had a good start to the week. Mine has been solid. Just got done doing some training. About to relax, chill for a little bit, and check out a high school game tonight. So, you'll see more content. You'll see highlights. You'll see training videos, all that good jazz, man. Keeping this channel consistent and rolling. But anyways, what I want to talk about is it's a very unique time. The year seemed like, it just started, but man, this month has zoomed by. I don't know if anybody else has felt the same way, but this month, we only got one more week of January, and we're already in February. So 22 is moving really, really fast. And this time of the year is crunch time for AAU. I talked about it from the coaching side before, or the director side, where, we're recruiting and getting stuff rolling, figuring out what events we're going to do. I've attacked it on that side, but now I'm going to attack it from the other side, the player side. So this one's for the players and the parents, man. High school. I'm not going to talk about middle school, elementary. I'm talking about high school. So that means 15U up to 17U. Understand this. My guy, shout out Clint Parks, who has, worked with Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Kuzma, Jalen McDaniels, and so many other solid players, still working with good players now. I seen him post something on his Instagram, basically, I'm paraphrasing, basically talking about not choosing the platform over development. And what he meant by that is, yeah, the platform is great. Yes, it's necessary. But if I had to choose, I'm not choosing the platform over my personal development, because the platform is the platform. Platform is for you to be seen. The development is for you to actually earn a scholarship and get seen by the right coaches. And that's what's not only going to get you the scholarship, but what about when you get there? See, a lot of these people talk about getting an offer. What about when you do get the offer and you do sign and you show up to campus? Do you want to just get there? Is that the goal, is just get a free education? If that's the goal, man, I ain't got nothing against that. If that's the goal, just to be there, there's nothing wrong with that. But if the goal is to actually be successful and actually make some noise while you're there, then you got to choose development over the platform. And so parents and players at this time, of course, most are focusing on, the high school season, but, everybody's looking over their shoulder just because of the time of the year. They're starting to smell AAU, and it's getting close. And you got players and parents trying to make these decisions on what they're going to do. And all I'm going to say to you, the advice I'm going to give to you is make sure that whatever program that you go to is giving you development, okay? Number one. I think development is definitely number one. Some people will say, well, we're not here for development. I just want, they got to get development on their own or from the trainers. That's partially true. But if the program that you're involved with doesn't develop, then you're not getting nothing out of it other than just playing in front of people. You don't want to just play in front of people. You want to actually make sure that your time is being utilized by you getting better and learning something and improving either your skill set, because they have skill development coaches or coaches that do training like myself, or you're getting better just by understanding the game better, with good coaching and practicing more frequently. Because, AAU it's not like high school. You're not practicing every day like that. But, if you're getting practices 2 to 3 times a week, I think that's very, very successful. In high school, AAU, when it's a bunch of fly-ins and guys, sometimes teams are not even practicing sometimes. So if you're able to get 2 or 3 practices in a week, I think that's very, very successful as a high school program. So If you're not going to get the training part from the program, you at the very least want to get the frequent coaching and the competition element from within your own team. You at least want to get that. And some programs do both. So development is number one. Then the platform. But hear me out with the platform. You got to make sure that the platform is going to be beneficial to you, the individual. Because playing on a second team or third team can be beneficial if that second or third team is playing in the right events, number one, and also has a history of guys still getting, looks and moving on from those second and third teams. If that program can show you a history of players playing on the second or third team and they're still able to play college ball at any level, okay, there's nothing wrong with being on the second or third team if you don't make the elite team. But if you're playing on the second, third team, and this is probably more so for the shoe deal level programs, no disrespect, it is what it is. If you're playing for a shoe deal and you're not on that top team and you're just playing every weekend and you're not really being seen, you guys are not practicing consistently, you are probably wasting your time. And usually how it works, you're probably spending a lot of money to play, which means that if you're spending a lot of money to play for that team or that team's second, third, or even 10th team, depending on which program it is, because we know we got programs that got a bunch of teams. If you're spending a lot of money to play on those teams and you're not being seen, you're not practicing frequently to even get the development part down, you are a paycheck. You are a paycheck for those top teams. You are a paycheck for them to fly and get all the gear. You are a paycheck. And there are a lot of players that say that they play on these marquee programs but are nothing more than a paycheck because you're playing on a secondary team and you're not getting developed and you're not being seen. So you're a paycheck. Sorry about that. It's just facts. So make sure that you know what you're getting into because you may go in it for the platform and you might not get a platform. What I consider a platform is not the name of the program. What I consider a platform is how much that coach or program is going to promote you. Promote you, whether it's through a social media or it can be just simply, hey, that coach got connects. He can call that head coach or that assistant coach on his personal phone or shoot him a text, and as soon as he get the film from you, he's going to hit the coach up personally. It could be that. It's a lot of older coaches that are not big on social media, and they players still get out because they've built great relationships with these Division I, Division IIs, and all level coaches, and their players are able to still get out with no social media presence. Me, I'm 30 years old. I'm a little bit on the younger side. I do have a social media presence. So you guys if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter or even Facebook, you see I'm always promoting my guys all day long. Some people like it. Some people might get irritated from it. I don't care because I'm promoting my guys. I'm showing everybody that I've built a platform organically to be able to promote my guys and them get something out of me just simply posting them on Instagram or Twitter. That's a blessing. That's a platform. If you are able, I'm not trying to just, tell everybody to come play for me. I'm just saying there are other people that do the same thing as me. So if the program that you're trying to get involved with is doing those things, then yes, you're playing for a solid platform that's going to help you be seen. But just because the name on the front of the jersey is the name on the front of the jersey does not mean that they're going to promote you. So you could be just there, like I said, as a paycheck. And you got to know what you're getting into because too many times I see these parents just wash away money thinking that their kid is getting better and being seen, and they're not. They're not. So, and I got respect for all shoe deals, man. Shoe deals, the EYBL, the Under Armour Association, the 3SSB, all provide great platforms and have pros, future franchise players playing on those circuits. There's no argument there, none. But every kid is not going to be there. A small percentage is on. That's a very, 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 very small percentage of the AAU world is even going to be able to touch any of those 3 circuits. And I'm talking at 17U where it matters the most. There's a very, very small percentage that's going to even touch those circuits. So what about the other 99%? For the other 99%, you have to make smart decisions when it comes to yourself. If you're making those decisions yourself as a kid or a young man or even young woman, because it's, still circuits on the women's side as well. You got to be smart making those decisions as yourself, or your parents got to be smart in making those decisions for you, or at least guiding you to make better decisions, because I think there are more careers that are ruined, not because kids are not good enough, but because they don't make proper decisions. And it starts, believe it or not, when you're in 9th grade. It starts when you're in 9th grade because it becomes a business when you're in 9th grade. It used to be, it starts when you get to your junior year. Growing up, I used to always hear, your junior year is your most important year. I mean, it is, but it's not no more because things are happening earlier. Guys are reclassing. So you can't wait till your junior year to get serious no more. When you step foot in high school as a 9th grader, it starts. When you take classes and a college coach asks you for your transcripts, they're looking at from 9th to 12th grade. 10 to 12th or 10 through 11th are always the most important because those are considered core classes. But what you do from the start of 9th grade still matters and counts. So your decisions as a freshman should be taken very serious. You don't just go to anybody because they got a name. You don't just say, I'm going to just play on this team because I've been playing with them since 4th grade either. Because this becomes a business in 9th grade. And this is what I be trying to tell my parents that are 8th graders, parents of 8th graders or even 7th graders, is things change when 9th grade AAU, 15U AAU happens. Everything is a business. It's no more about, I hate to say this, bro. Loyalty really doesn't, it matters, but it doesn't because it's a business. It's just real talk. Now, me, I try to ride on loyalty as much as I possibly can. But as my position, I'm loyal to those that are putting in the work and that are progressing and are taking their classes seriously so that they can hopefully be in position to move on. I'm loyal to those kids. I'm loyal to me building and trying to get as many college or potential college basketball players as possible. Yes, I'm loyal to that. You as a player, you as a parent have to be loyal to the development as well as the proper platform that's going to benefit your child. Because this AAU program may have a platform, but that platform that this AAU program has may not benefit your child. And you got to know that you got to be able to break that down. Ask questions. Hey, man, where do you see my child? I mean, do you see him having they can't promise you anything. Don't get me wrong, because even when parents ask me stuff, I don't promise them anything. But you can at least ask questions like, hey, I mean, where do you see my child fitting with your program? And depending on the answer they give you may tell you everything that you may need to, hear into making a proper decision. Ask questions, bro. You have a right to ask questions as a parent and even as a kid. Ask questions. Make these coaches answer you. That way you don't, feel like you're in uncomfortable positions. You got to ask these coaches questions. That's very, very important when you're trying to pick the right AAU program for you. Another thing is, just don't get caught up in the, who's sponsored and who's independent. And I'm not saying this just for Rampage. I mean, there are other phenomenal independent programs out there, bro. It's not just us. There are a lot of good, solid, quality independent programs. And for those that are more on the elite side of things, like a potential Division I player or even D2, right? Don't just go to the big name. Don't just do that. Because you gotta understand when you're dealing with shoe deals and top tier programs that are sponsored, there is a political side to it. there is a game that's being played with some of these shoe deals as far as, if I got a Division I kid, but he might be a potential low major D1. He's not a high major or P5 kid, but he still has a chance to go D1, right? If I have this kid and I put this kid on this shoe deal team, and this shoe deal team gets potential All-Americans, high major, we're talking Pac-12, ACC, Big East, right? There's a pecking order. You're coming in as a low major D1. Still D1. Nothing wrong with it. But you got to understand that the politics of it is you're probably not going to start over this kid that's a 5-star or a kid that's a McDonald's All-American nominee, potentially, or this kid that has a Big East look. You might have a low major Mountain West look, but it might be 5 kids, other kids on this shoe deal that are D1. They might all have ACC Big East looks. So you're taking a back seat to a bunch of other Division I, higher Division I players. So what I'm saying is it may be beneficial for that low major D1 kid to play for an independent to where he might be the best player on that independent team versus being 8th or 9th man on this shoe deal team and you're playing behind all these All-Americans. Remember, development over platform. That's a prime example of development over platform. Yes, I'm good enough to play on this shoe deal, but guess what? If I play on this shoe deal, I'm taking a back seat to 6 to 7 other kids that are higher or potentially higher Division I prospects than me, and they may even be G League potentially. The game has changed. Remember, kids can go straight to the G League now. So, if you're talking real high, you might have 2 kids that are on the pipeline to G League and 4 other kids that are Big East, ACC, Big Ten, or Pac-12, while you're just, low major D1. Nothing wrong with it, but understand development over platform. What's going to help your game? I think playing on a team where you're the best player and got to make all the decisions and, make other players better, I think that may benefit your game more so than playing on the shoe deal and taking a back seat to so many other 5-stars. It becomes a political game. And parents, you got to understand that. You have to understand that. Players, you have to understand that because, like I said, you don't want to be out here making bad decisions because it can affect your career. One bad move can destroy your whole career. It can also take away your confidence. So really understand this is a serious process. It's not what you're used to when you were younger, just playing for whoever. You got to think smart. You almost got to look at yourself like a pro without getting paid. You got to make smart decisions. You can't just be running off going to any team that wants you. Guys in the NBA, if big-time free agents, if Kevin Durant had, it wasn't just the Warriors that was interested in Kevin Durant when he's a free agent. You had the Celtics, you had the Clippers, I think the Spurs were in there. Like, you had a bunch of teams that were interested in Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant went on the visits to all of them, but he had to make a real smart decision because he didn't want something to affect his career negatively by making a bad decisions. He won 2 rings, 2 Finals MVPs. No matter what anybody says about the move, he made a smart decision. And you got to do the same thing when it comes to AAU because you don't want that to affect your career. And so that's the video of the day. Make smart decisions. Ask questions if you're being recruited by these AAU programs, and hopefully you're able to make the best decision for you and you're not able to regret it, and you have a good spring and summer, and maybe you'll see Team Rampage rolling around. Maybe I might be a good decision. I don't know. Maybe not. But ask questions and put yourself in a good position. That's the video today. You guys have a good one. We're out.